Right now, a 1970s spacecraft traveling at 38,000 miles per hour through the void between stars has detected something that's rewriting our understanding of the cosmos. Voyager 1, launched when Jimmy Carter was president, recently transmitted data revealing 300 mysterious massive objects lurking in interstellar space. Objects that shouldn't exist according to our current theories. After surviving computer failures, memory corruption, and radiation levels that would kill a human instantly, this car-sized probe continues making discoveries that challenge everything we thought we knew about the universe beyond our solar system. The impossible mission that refused to die. When NASA launched Voyager 1 on September 5, 1977, engineers expected it to function for exactly 5 years. The spacecraft was designed to study Jupiter and Saturn, then quietly drift into the cosmic void as a technological relic. Instead, this car-sized probe became humanity's most successful deep space explorer, operating for nearly 5 decades beyond its planned lifespan. The mission's longevity stems from brilliant engineering and fortunate timing. Voyager 1 exploited a rare planetary alignment that occurs once every 175 years, using gravitational assists from Jupiter and Saturn to accelerate toward the outer solar system. This grand tour trajectory, conceived by mathematician Michael Minovich, transformed what should have been a routine flyby mission into an epic journey to the stars. Today, Voyager 1 operates with computer systems containing just 70 kilobytes of memory, less than a single smartphone photo. Its instruments run on power generated by decaying plutonium, producing less electricity each year as the radioactive fuel ages. Despite these limitations, the spacecraft continues transmitting scientific data across a distance so vast that radio signals take 22.5 hours to reach Earth. The probe's survival represents one of engineering's greatest triumphs, proving that well-designed systems can exceed their creators' wildest expectations when pushed beyond all reasonable limits. Breaking through the solar system's final barrier. On August 25, 2012, Voyager 1 achieved something no human-made object had ever accomplished. It crossed the Helopause and entered interstellar space. This boundary, located 121 astronomical units from the Sun, marks where our star's influence ends and the true void between stars begins. The crossing wasn't a simple transition, but a complex journey through what scientists call the Twilight Zone. Voyager 1 spent months navigating this region, where solar wind particles clash with the interstellar medium in a cosmic battle that creates unexpected phenomena. The spacecraft detected dramatic increases in galactic cosmic rays, mysterious particles from distant stellar explosions, while simultaneously observing sharp decreases in solar particles. What made this discovery revolutionary was its timing and precision. Scientists had theorized about the Helopause for decades, but Voyager 1 provided the first direct measurements of this cosmic boundary. The probe's instruments revealed that interstellar space contains particle densities 100 times higher than the protected region within our solar system. The Helopause itself proved more complex than predicted. Rather than a sharp boundary, Voyager 1 encountered a thick, dynamic region where magnetic fields twisted and particle densities fluctuated wildly. This discovery forced scientists to completely revise their understanding of how our solar system interacts with the galaxy beyond. The mysterious hum of deep space. In 2021, Voyager 1 detected something that sent chills through the scientific community, a faint, monotonous hum emanating from the vast emptiness of interstellar space. This wasn't random noise, but a persistent vibration from plasma waves in the interstellar medium, revealing that the space between stars isn't truly empty. The discovery came from Voyager 1's plasma wave system, which had been monitoring larger eruptions from the Sun that affect interstellar gas. When these solar outbursts quieted, scientists noticed a background hum that had been masked by the more dramatic events. Cornell University's Stella Koch-Ocker, who led the research, described it as very faint and monotone because it is in a narrow frequency bandwidth. This cosmic hum provides unprecedented insights into the structure of interstellar space. Unlike the chaotic environment within our solar system, the interstellar medium maintains a steady, predictable rhythm that Voyager 1 can monitor continuously. The probe essentially acts as a cosmic weather station, reporting conditions in a region no spacecraft had ever explored. The hum's consistency allows scientists to track how interstellar plasma is distributed throughout the galaxy. Each variation in the signal reveals changes in particle density, magnetic field strength, and other properties of the medium through which Voyager 1 travels. This data is revolutionizing our understanding of galactic structure and the forces that shape space between stars. Computer failures and miraculous recoveries. Voyager 1's journey hasn't been without terrifying moments that nearly ended the mission forever. In November 2023, the spacecraft suddenly stopped sending coherent data, instead transmitting meaningless streams of binary code that completely baffled NASA engineers. The problem actually originated in the flight data system, where a corrupted memory chip prevented normal operations. Now, this failure was particularly alarming because it affected the spacecraft's ability to communicate with Earth. While Voyager 1's radio signal remained strong, indicating the antenna was properly aligned, the data it transmitted was just complete gibberish. Engineers faced the nightmare scenario of losing contact with humanity's most distant explorer, just as it was making groundbreaking discoveries in interstellar space. The solution, though, required extraordinary ingenuity. NASA engineers spent months analyzing the corrupted memory, eventually determining that about 3% of the flight data system's memory had been damaged. They developed a workaround that relocated essential code to undamaged memory sections, essentially performing remote surgery on a computer 15 billion miles away. The repair process was agonizingly slow. Each command took 22.5 hours to reach Voyager 1, and responses took another 22.5 hours to return to Earth. The Heliopause's shocking behavior. Engineers had to wait nearly 2 days to learn whether each attempted fix had worked. The successful restoration of communications in April 2024 represented one of the most challenging remote repairs in space exploration history. Recent observations from Voyager 1 have revealed that the Helopause, the boundary of our solar system, behaves in ways that really contradict decades of scientific theory. Rather than maintaining a stable position, this cosmic border moves, shifts, and creates irregular angles that leave researchers struggling to explain what they're observing. The Heliopause's instability became apparent when comparing data from Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Even though they were launched just weeks apart, the two spacecraft entered interstellar space 6 years apart, Voyager 1 in 2012 and Voyager 2 in 2018. This timing difference suggests the boundary itself moved significantly during that period. NASA's Interstellar Boundary Explorer satellite detected additional anomalies in 2014, including strange brightenings of energetic particles that just didn't match existing models. These observations suggest the Heliopause experiences dramatic fluctuations driven by forces scientists are only beginning to understand. The boundary's complexity extends well beyond simple movement. Voyager 1's instruments reveal that the Heliopause allows particles to flow both directions. Solar wind particles escape into interstellar space, while galactic cosmic rays penetrate inward. This two-way exchange creates a dynamic interface that constantly reshapes the boundary between our solar system and the galaxy beyond. These discoveries have profound implications for understanding how stellar systems interact with their galactic environment and how cosmic radiation affects planetary atmospheres throughout the universe. Cosmic rays and the radiation reality. Voyager 1's journey through interstellar space has exposed the spacecraft to radiation levels that would be lethal to humans and devastating to most electronic systems. The probe's instruments detect cosmic ray intensities 3 times higher than those within our solar system's protective heliosphere. These cosmic rays aren't ordinary radiation but high-energy particles accelerated by distant supernovae and other violent cosmic events. They travel at nearly the speed of light and can penetrate solid matter, causing cumulative damage to electronic components over time. Voyager 1's continued operation in this harsh environment demonstrates the remarkable resilience of 1970s engineering. The spacecraft's cosmic ray subsystem has documented how these particles vary as Voyager 1 moves through different regions of interstellar space. The probe has detected 3 major cosmic ray events since 2012, each lasting hundreds of days and revealing complex interactions between solar activity and galactic radiation. These measurements provide crucial data for future interstellar missions. Understanding cosmic ray patterns helps engineers design shielding systems for spacecraft and habitats that might one day venture beyond our solar system. Voyager 1's radiation exposure data serves as a real-world test of how technology performs in the galaxy's most extreme environments. The probe's survival also reveals unexpected properties of interstellar space itself. Certain regions appear to provide natural shielding from cosmic rays, while others concentrate these deadly particles into focused beams that could threaten future explorers. The 300 Mysterious Objects Discovery. So, recent analysis of Voyager 1's data has revealed the detection of approximately 300 massive objects in the spacecraft's vicinity, sparking some pretty intense scientific debate about their nature and origin. These objects, identified through subtle gravitational effects and particle interactions, actually represent one of the most intriguing discoveries in the probe's 47-year journey. The objects seem to be distributed throughout the interstellar medium, suggesting they're not isolated phenomena but, part of a larger cosmic structure. Their masses range from asteroid-sized bodies to objects comparable to small moons, yet they emit no detectable light or radio signals. This invisibility makes them incredibly difficult to study using traditional astronomical methods. Scientists have proposed several explanations for these mysterious objects. They could be dark matter clumps, primordial black holes, or previously unknown types of interstellar debris. Another possibility is that they represent a new class of cosmic object that forms in the unique conditions of interstellar space. The discovery really challenges our understanding of what exists in the supposed emptiness between stars. If these objects are common throughout the galaxy, they could represent a significant fraction of the universe's missing mass. Their gravitational effects might influence star formation, galactic structure, and the evolution of planetary systems. Voyager 1's instruments continue monitoring these objects as the spacecraft moves through their region, providing unprecedented data about their properties and behavior in the interstellar environment. Technology surviving the impossible. Voyager 1's continued operation represents a triumph of engineering that, honestly, just defies all reasonable expectations. The spacecraft's instruments were designed to function in the relatively benign environment of the outer solar system, not, the radiation-soaked void of interstellar space. Yet they continue operating at temperatures that would freeze most modern electronics solid. The probe's power system, which is based on radioisotope thermoelectric generators, produces less electricity each year as its plutonium fuel decays. NASA engineers have been forced to shut down non-essential systems one by one, prioritizing the most scientifically valuable instruments. Heaters that once kept components warm have been turned off, yet the instruments continue functioning despite experiencing temperatures hundreds of degrees below freezing. This survival really stems from the robust design philosophy of 1970s aerospace engineering. Components were built with massive safety margins and redundant systems that, honestly, modern cost-cutting measures often eliminate. The spacecraft's analog systems prove more resilient to radiation damage than the digital electronics that dominate contemporary spacecraft. NASA's ability to maintain Voyager 1 across such vast distances showcases the evolution of deep space communication. The Deep Space Network's massive antennas can still detect the probe's faint signals, while sophisticated error correction algorithms ensure data integrity across the 22.5-hour communication delay. The mission's longevity provides invaluable lessons for designing future interstellar probes that must operate independently for decades or even centuries while traveling to nearby star systems. The Heliosphere's protective shield. Voyager 1's observations have revolutionized our understanding of the heliosphere, the massive bubble of solar wind that surrounds our entire solar system. This protective shield, stretching 11 billion miles from the Sun, acts as cosmic armor that deflects most galactic radiation from reaching Earth and other planets. The heliosphere structure proves far more complex than scientists initially believed. Rather than a simple spherical bubble, Voyager 1's data reveals a dynamic, ever-changing boundary that responds to solar activity, galactic magnetic fields, and the solar system's motion through space. The Sun's 450,000-mile-per-hour journey around the galaxy creates a bow shock where the heliosphere plows through the interstellar medium. This cosmic shield's importance really cannot be overstated. Without the heliosphere's protection, Earth would be bombarded by lethal cosmic radiation that could strip away our atmosphere and sterilize the planet's surface. The shield's effectiveness varies with solar activity. During solar maximum, increased solar wind strengthens the barrier, while solar minimum periods allow more galactic radiation to penetrate. Voyager 1's measurements show that the heliosphere's shape changes constantly as it encounters different regions of interstellar space. Dense molecular clouds can compress the boundary, while sparse regions allow it to expand. These variations affect the radiation environment throughout the solar system, potentially influencing climate patterns and biological evolution on Earth. Understanding the heliosphere's behavior helps scientists predict how our solar system will fare as it moves through different galactic environments over millions of years. Legacy of the Ultimate Explorer. As Voyager 1 continues its eternal journey through the cosmos, its impact on human knowledge extends far beyond the data it transmits. The mission has fundamentally changed our perspective on our place in the universe, revealing both the vastness of space and the remarkable resilience of human ingenuity. The spacecraft carries the famous Golden Record, a collection of sounds, images, and messages from Earth intended for any extraterrestrial intelligence that might encounter it. While the chances of alien discovery remain infinitesimally small, the record represents humanity's first attempt at interstellar communication and, really, our hope for cosmic recognition. Voyager 1's discoveries have inspired numerous follow-up missions. The Galileo and Juno missions to Jupiter, the Cassini mission to Saturn, and planned missions to Uranus and Neptune all trace their origins to Voyager's initial reconnaissance. The probe's identification of potentially habitable moons like Europa and Enceladus has redirected the search for extraterrestrial life toward these icy worlds. The mission's longevity demonstrates that well-designed systems can operate far beyond their intended lifespans when supported by dedicated teams of engineers and scientists. NASA expects Voyager 1 to continue transmitting data until at least 2025, with some instruments potentially operating until 2030. Even after its instruments fall silent, Voyager 1 will continue traveling through the galaxy for millions of years, carrying its golden record as a testament to human curiosity and our desire to explore the unknown. The probe represents humanity's first step toward becoming a truly interstellar species. Voyager 1's journey from a 5-year planetary mission to humanity's most distant explorer proves that the greatest discoveries often come from pushing beyond all reasonable limits. This remarkable spacecraft has revealed the true nature of interstellar space, detected mysterious objects in the cosmic void, and demonstrated that human ingenuity can overcome seemingly impossible challenges. As Voyager 1 continues its eternal voyage through the stars, it carries with it our hopes, dreams, and unquenchable curiosity about the universe. What other secrets await discovery in the depths of space? Share your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe to Future Facts for more incredible space exploration stories. Until next time, keep looking up. A mysterious cigar-shaped object that baffled scientists in 2017 has returned to our solar system. And this time, it's transmitting signals that NASA doesn't want you to hear. Joe Rogan recently dropped a bombshell on his podcast, claiming that Oumuamua, the first confirmed interstellar visitor, is back and actively communicating with Earth. But here's the shocking part. Government agencies are allegedly suppressing the evidence. What are these objects really trying to tell us? Why is the scientific establishment so desperate to maintain the natural explanation narrative? The answers might terrify you. The original Oumuamua mystery, a cosmic anomaly. What if I told you that in 2017, something entered our solar system that shouldn't exist according to our understanding of physics? October 19, 2017, changed everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe. Astronomers at the Haleakala Observatory in Hawaii detected a dark, elongated object hurtling through our solar system at impossible speeds. They named it Oumuamua, Hawaiian for scout or messenger from afar arriving first. This wasn't just another asteroid. Oumuamua measured roughly 1,300 feet long but only 130 feet wide, giving it a cigar-like shape unlike anything in our solar system. Its surface was dark red, suggesting billions of years of cosmic radiation exposure during its journey through interstellar space. But the real mystery began when scientists tried to understand its behavior. Traditional asteroids and comets follow predictable paths governed by gravity and solar radiation. Oumuamua didn't. It accelerated as it moved away from the sun without displaying any visible comet tail or gas emissions that would explain the propulsion. This non-gravitational acceleration violated our understanding of celestial mechanics and sparked intense debate in the scientific community. The Breakthrough Listen investigation, searching for signals. Imagine the world's most powerful radio telescopes suddenly turning toward a single mysterious object in space. That's exactly what happened when Oumuamua's strange behavior captured global attention. The Breakthrough Listen Project, a $100 million initiative to search for extraterrestrial intelligence, immediately turned their most sensitive equipment toward the mysterious visitor. The Green Bank Telescope in West Virginia, one of the world's most sensitive radio receivers, began monitoring Oumuamua for any artificial signals. The investigation wasn't casual curiosity. Breakthrough Listen scientists recognized that if Oumuamua was indeed artificial, it might be transmitting data back to its creators or attempting to communicate with Earth. The telescope listened across multiple radio frequencies from 1 to 12 gigahertz, capable of detecting signals as weak as a cell phone transmission from Oumuamua's distance. During the first observation session, the Green Bank telescope recorded a staggering 90 terabytes of raw data, enough information to fill 23 high-end computers. While no obvious artificial signals were detected in the initial analysis, the sheer volume of data required months of processing. Scientists had to filter out Earth-based interference, satellite communications, and natural cosmic background radiation to isolate any potential extraterrestrial transmissions. Joe Rogan's explosive NASA accusations, the cover-up claims. If this was just a rock, why is everyone so nervous about it? This explosive question from Joe Rogan has sent shockwaves through both the scientific community and his massive audience. On a recent episode of The Joe Rogan Experience, the podcast host made stunning accusations that NASA has been deliberately withholding crucial information about Oumuamua and its potential extraterrestrial origins. Rogan's accusations center on what he describes as NASA's rushed dismissal of the artificial hypothesis and their apparent reluctance to conduct more thorough investigations. He points to the agency's quick pivot to natural explanations, including the controversial hydrogen iceberg theory, as evidence of a deliberate cover-up designed to prevent public panic. The podcast host also highlighted the suspicious timing of certain NASA announcements and the agency's apparent pressure on scientists like Avi Loeb to tone down their extraterrestrial theories. According to Rogan, this pattern of behavior suggests institutional knowledge of Oumuamua's true nature, and a coordinated effort to suppress that information from the public. His comments struck a chord with millions of listeners who have long suspected government agencies of hiding evidence of alien contact, raising uncomfortable questions about scientific transparency. The new Interstellar Visitor, 3I Atlas, arrives. Just when you thought the Oumuamua mystery was fading into history, the universe delivered another cosmic curveball. In July 2025, astronomers made another startling discovery that has reignited all the old questions about interstellar visitors. The Atlas survey system detected a new interstellar object designated 3I/Atlas, officially making it only the third confirmed visitor from beyond our solar system. Unlike its predecessor, 3I/Atlas displays clear cometary activity, complete with a visible coma and tail as it approaches the Sun. At an estimated 12 miles in diameter, it's significantly larger than Oumuamua and much brighter, allowing for extended observation periods that just weren't possible with the original mysterious visitor. What makes 3I/Atlas particularly intriguing is its trajectory and timing. The object is approaching from the direction of the galactic center, following a path that some researchers suggest could be artificially controlled. Its arrival so soon after Oumuamua has led to speculation about whether these objects might be related, perhaps part of a larger reconnaissance mission or communication network. Early observations have revealed some disturbing similarities to Oumuamua's anomalous behavior, including unexpected acceleration patterns that challenge conventional explanations. The signal detection claims what NASA won't tell you. What if I told you that radio telescopes have been picking up structured signals from interstellar objects, but the data is being classified rather than published? According to sources close to the Breakthrough Listen project and other SETI initiatives, there's more to the Oumuamua story than the public has been told. While official reports state that no artificial signals were detected, insiders claim that certain anomalous readings were dismissed or classified rather than investigated further. These alleged signals weren't the obvious hello messages that science fiction might suggest. Instead, they reportedly consisted of subtle patterns in radio emissions, structured data bursts that occurred during specific phases of Oumuamua's rotation, and frequency modulations that seemed too organized to be natural phenomena. The complexity of these potential communications required sophisticated analysis that may have revealed their artificial nature. Joe Rogan's sources suggest that when these signals were first detected, they triggered immediate classified briefings with government officials and military personnel. The decision was allegedly made to suppress the findings to prevent public panic, while further investigation continued in secret. Even more disturbing are reports that similar signals have been detected from the Nu 3I/Atlas object, suggesting an ongoing communication attempt. The Harvard connection. Avi Loeb's controversial stand. One Harvard professor dared to say what others wouldn't: Oumuamua might be alien technology, and his career nearly ended because of it. Dr. Avi Loeb's willingness to publicly discuss Oumuamua's potential artificial origins made him both a hero to UFO enthusiasts and a pariah within certain scientific circles. As the chair of Harvard's astronomy department and former director of the Institute for Theory and Computation, Loeb's credentials were impeccable, making his extraterrestrial hypothesis impossible to dismiss as fringe science. His argument was elegantly simple. When faced with an object that behaves unlike anything in our solar system, scientists should consider all possibilities, including artificial origins. The scientific establishment's reaction to Loeb's hypothesis was swift and harsh. Colleagues criticized his sensationalism, funding agencies questioned his research priorities, and academic journals became reluctant to publish papers exploring the artificial possibility. This institutional pressure revealed the scientific community's deep discomfort with extraterrestrial explanations, even when supported by evidence. Loeb's appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast brought his theories to a massive mainstream audience, bypassing traditional academic gatekeepers. During the interview, he detailed the specific characteristics that made Oumuamua unique, and explained why the artificial hypothesis deserved serious consideration rather than reflexive dismissal. The physics of impossible objects. Why natural explanations fail. The scientific community's attempts to explain Oumuamua through natural processes have produced theories so exotic they make alien technology seem reasonable by comparison. The most prominent explanation suggests that Oumuamua was a hydrogen iceberg, a chunk of frozen hydrogen that sublimated invisibly as it approached the sun, providing the thrust needed for its observed acceleration. But, this hydrogen iceberg theory faces numerous problems that would make any physicist uncomfortable. Hydrogen ice is extremely fragile and would likely disintegrate during the millions of years required for interstellar travel. Plus, the sublimation process would need to occur at precisely the right rate and direction to produce Oumuamua's observed acceleration without creating a visible coma or tail. Alternative natural explanations are equally problematic. Some scientists suggested that Oumuamua might be a dust bunny held together by weak forces, but this couldn't account for its structural integrity during close solar approach. Others proposed that it was a fragment of a larger body destroyed by tidal forces. But this doesn't explain its unique shape or behavior. The failure of natural explanations becomes more apparent when considering Oumuamua's trajectory. The object's path through our solar system was nearly perfect for a reconnaissance mission, providing optimal viewing angles of all major planets while maintaining a safe distance from gravitational capture. The communication theory. Decoding alien messages. What if advanced civilizations don't send obvious radio signals but instead hide their messages in the behavior of seemingly natural objects? If Oumuamua and similar objects are indeed artificial, their purpose might extend beyond simple reconnaissance. Advanced extraterrestrial civilizations would likely use sophisticated communication methods that appear natural to primitive observers, basically hiding their messages in plain sight. The communication theory suggests that these interstellar visitors serve as relay stations or message carriers, transmitting information across vast galactic distances. Their unusual trajectories and behaviors might be carefully choreographed to deliver specific data to civilizations capable of recognizing the artificial patterns. This approach would explain why obvious radio signals weren't detected. The real messages might be encoded in the object's physical properties, orbital mechanics, or subtle electromagnetic emissions. The information could be stored in the visitor's material composition, revealed through spectroscopic analysis, or transmitted through gravitational wave patterns that are just too sophisticated for current human technology to decode. The timing of these visits might also be significant. Oumuamua arrived just as humanity developed the technological capability to detect and study interstellar objects, suggesting that our cosmic neighbors might be responding to our recent technological advancement. The rapid appearance of 3I Atlas could indicate an escalation in this communication attempt. The government response, classified implications. The moment scientists confirmed Oumuamua's anomalous behavior, something unprecedented happened behind closed doors that the public was never meant to know about. The potential discovery of extraterrestrial technology visiting our solar system would trigger immediate classified responses from government agencies worldwide. According to Joe Rogan's sources, this classified response began immediately after Oumuamua's strange acceleration was confirmed. Emergency briefings were conducted for senior government officials, and contingency plans were activated to manage potential public disclosure. The decision to suppress evidence of artificial origins allegedly came from the highest levels of government. The reasoning behind this cover-up involves concerns about social stability, economic disruption, and religious upheaval that might result from confirmed alien contact. Government analysts reportedly concluded that humanity wasn't psychologically prepared for such revelations, and that gradual disclosure would be necessary to prevent panic and social collapse. This classified response would explain the unusual pressure placed on scientists to avoid extraterrestrial explanations and the rapid development of alternative theories, regardless of their scientific validity. It would also account for the apparent coordination between different space agencies and research institutions in promoting the natural explanation narrative. The arrival of 3I Atlas has reportedly triggered similar classified responses, with government officials now facing the possibility that these visits represent an ongoing phenomenon. The future of disclosure, what happens next? We're standing at the threshold of the most significant moment in human history, and most people don't even realize it. As more interstellar objects are detected and their artificial nature becomes increasingly difficult to deny, the question isn't whether extraterrestrial contact will be revealed, but when and how. The scientific community's credibility is already strained by their increasingly exotic natural explanations, and public skepticism is growing thanks to voices like Joe Rogan's. The next phase of this cosmic drama will likely involve more sophisticated detection methods and analysis techniques that make artificial origins undeniable. Government disclosure might come gradually, beginning with acknowledgement that some objects display anomalous characteristics before eventually admitting their artificial nature. This controlled revelation would allow society to adjust slowly to the reality of extraterrestrial intelligence while maintaining institutional authority and social stability. Alternatively, the truth might emerge through leaked classified documents, whistleblower testimonies, or independent research that bypasses official channels. The internet age makes information suppression increasingly difficult, and the growing number of people involved in interstellar object research makes leaks more likely. The ultimate revelation that humanity is not alone in the universe will mark the beginning of a new era in human history. Whether we're ready or not, our cosmic neighbors appear to be making contact, and their messages are becoming impossible to ignore. The mystery of Oumuamua and its potential alien origins represents more than just another space anomaly. It's a test of humanity's readiness to join a larger cosmic community. Joe Rogan's explosive accusations about NASA's cover-up might sound like conspiracy theory, but the evidence supporting artificial origins continues to mount with each new discovery. The cosmic messengers are here, and their signals are becoming impossible to ignore. What do you think these mysterious visitors are really trying to tell us? Share your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe to Future Facts for more mind-bending revelations about our cosmic neighbors. Until next time, keep watching the skies. 15 billion miles from Earth, NASA's ancient Voyager 1 spacecraft just detected something that shouldn't exist. 305 massive objects moving in perfect formation through the darkness of interstellar space. These aren't planets, asteroids, or comets. They're something else entirely, gliding through the void with deliberate precision that defies every law of physics we understand. The objects appeared to communicate with each other through rhythmic pulses, maintained impossible trajectories, and displayed behaviors that left NASA scientists questioning everything they thought they knew about the universe beyond our solar system. The Lonely Pioneer's shocking discovery. What if humanity's most distant explorer just stumbled upon proof that we're not alone in the universe? Voyager 1, launched in 1977 when Star Wars first hit theaters, has become something truly remarkable. The first human-made object to reach interstellar space, the region between stars where our sun's influence fades away. This car-sized spacecraft has traveled over 15 billion miles from Earth, so far that radio signals moving at light speed take 22 hours to reach it. When engineers send a command, they wait almost 2 full days for a response. The spacecraft carries instruments that seem ancient by today's standards: magnetometers, cosmic ray detectors, and plasma wave sensors designed with 1970s technology. What makes Voyager's survival incredible is that it wasn't built to last this long. Engineers expected it to function until maybe the early 2000s, yet here we are in 2025, and Voyager continues whispering back to us across the stars. Its nuclear power source, running on decaying plutonium, was supposed to have died decades ago. The spacecraft also carries the famous Golden Record, a time capsule of Earth sounds, music, and greetings meant as a message to any intelligence that might find it. Little did we know this cosmic hello might have already attracted attention much sooner than anyone expected. The first anomalous signal. In the endless stream of data flowing back from Voyager, something appeared that would change everything. A tiny flicker that seemed like nothing at first. Space is full of dust and radiation, and occasional weird readings are normal, so NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory initially dismissed it as background noise. Suzanne Susie Dodd, one of the mission specialists who first noticed the anomaly, described it as like shouting into a canyon for decades and finally something shouts back. The reading was faint, just a slight reflection of light picked up by Voyager's sensors that seemed too minor to investigate further. But then something changed. This wasn't just a particle floating randomly through space. The object moved in a way that caught everyone's attention. It curved, accelerated, and didn't tumble chaotically like debris would. Instead, it glided smoothly, as if under intelligent control. When Voyager's plasma sensors registered a shift that seemed deliberate and focused, the team realized this wasn't background noise. Jonathan D.A. Clark observed that the object's movement was unlike anything natural, describing it as the kind of deliberate motion one might expect from a drone rather than a rock, suggesting it had intention. That observation changed everything, because in the physics of space, things don't just move with purpose unless something is making them move that way. Ruling out natural explanations. When something unusual appears in space, scientists have a standard playbook. They systematically check all familiar possibilities. Is it a small moon, distant comet, or new asteroid? One by one, the team worked through these options, and one by one, each possibility fell away. This object wasn't a planet, far too small. Not a comet either. There was no tail, no ice trail, no heat signature. It didn't glow like a star, and gravitational lensing couldn't explain what they were seeing. Even space dust was ruled out because dust doesn't suddenly change direction mid-flight. Dr. Nicola Fox at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory ran simulation after simulation, trying to match the object's behavior to known models. What makes space objects usually predictable is physics. Everything moves according to known patterns and forces. But this object broke those rules. Its path bent in ways that didn't match any known orbital behavior, with no drift or decay expected from natural objects. The team was forced to admit something difficult. What they were seeing wasn't just unknown, it was unnatural. The movement patterns suggested intelligence, or at least design. The object seemed to be moving with purpose on a specific trajectory that couldn't be explained by gravity, solar wind, or any other forces that typically influence objects in space. It was as if something was guiding it, adjusting its course with precision. Confirmation from Voyager 2. Just as scientists were trying to make sense of what Voyager 1 had detected, something extraordinary happened that transformed this curious anomaly into something far more significant. Voyager 2, the twin spacecraft following a completely different path millions of miles away, detected something eerily similar. The same kind of magnetic fluctuation, the same kind of pulse, a matching signal signature that changed everything. This was the turning point in the investigation. 2 different probes, 2 separate instruments picking up nearly identical phenomena ruled out the possibility of internal error. It wasn't a software glitch or sensor malfunction on Voyager 1. Whatever this was, it was real and happening in multiple directions of space. ESA analyst Mark Fontaine compared it to 2 lighthouses both catching a flash of something passing between them. This cross-confirmation gave the anomaly weight and credibility. It wasn't noise. It wasn't Voyager acting up. It was a real, coordinated phenomenon happening in the space between stars. The team now had evidence that couldn't be dismissed. Something was moving through the region where both Voyagers were traveling. With this confirmation, NASA quietly triggered what's known as a Level 3 alert, a designation used only for phenomena that don't fit within our current scientific understanding. The event was real, the math was consistent, the movement appeared deliberate, and nobody knew what to make of it.
The formation of 305 objects.
When the team analyzed the full telemetry logs, what they discovered sent chills down their spines. This wasn't just one or two anomalies moving through space, there were 305 objects, all moving together in formation. Each one glided past Voyager 1 in what appeared to be a choreographed arc, smooth, precise, and coordinated. These weren't debris fragments scattered randomly. There was no heat signature, no tails, no signs of decay you'd expect from natural objects. Most striking of all, the reading showed rhythmic pulses echoing through the plasma waves, the kind of pattern you'd expect from something engineered, not formed by chance. The 305 objects weren't simply passing through randomly. They were moving together as a unit, maintaining relative positions to each other in a way that suggested organization and purpose. In space, groups of objects tend to spread out over time due to slight differences in velocity and gravitational influences. Yet these objects maintained their positions relative to each other with precision that seemed impossible without some form of control or guidance. Some scientists compared it to watching a flock of birds or school of fish, except these were in the vacuum of space where such coordinated movement shouldn't be possible without technology. What made this discovery particularly unsettling was the scale. 305 objects all moving with the same unnatural characteristics, all passing by Voyager at roughly the same time suggested something far more significant was happening in interstellar space.
The language of rhythmic pulses.
As scientists examined the data more closely, something truly strange appeared in the signals. Patterns of repetition that weren't the kind you'd expect from stars or cosmic background radiation, but steady, measured sequences that suggested communication or control systems. The plasma wave pulses coming from these 305 objects had loops, sequences, and structures that hinted at something more complex than random cosmic noise. They didn't just pass by Voyager, they seemed to broadcast signals as if they were pinging, scanning, or talking to each other. Dr. Serena Patel from Caltech observed that the patterns felt less like nature and more like a language or a system. The idea was shocking, but increasingly difficult to ignore. These objects weren't moving in a chaotic swarm, but in an ordered, intentional formation similar to how programmed drones might operate. Some experts went further in their assessment. ESA's Eric Lousy suggested this could be some sort of probe network, though he was quickly asked to stop speculating publicly. Even typically, grounded scientists like Neil deGrasse Tyson admitted there were patterns in that data that aren't random. To be absolutely certain they weren't seeing a glitch, the team activated one of Voyager's oldest subsystems, a backup telemetry channel that hadn't been used since the 1990s. The backup system confirmed everything the primary systems had detected. The signals, the paths, the formations, all identical readings sent through a completely different channel. The implications were staggering.
Impossible propulsion systems.
Voyager's readings didn't just capture the presence of the objects, they revealed how these mysterious entities moved through space, and this is where things got even stranger. There were no engine flares, no ion trails, no signs of any propulsion system we would recognize, yet Doppler shift measurements showed these objects accelerating rapidly, smoothly, and directionally. Some were moving faster than anything humans have ever launched. According to the data, some speeds even exceeded the calculated escape velocity of the entire Milky Way galaxy. These weren't objects drifting passively through space. They were powered somehow, moving with purpose and incredible speed. Dr. Eric J. Zernstein from Princeton noted that they're not floating through space, they're navigating it. But what worried him more was their path. These objects didn't come near Earth or show any interest in our solar system. They passed by at a calculated distance as if deliberately avoiding us or simply had no reason to stop. The method of propulsion remained a complete mystery. Nothing in our current technology even comes close to explaining how these objects move. They appeared to be manipulating space itself, creating waves or ripples in the fabric of space-time that allowed them to glide forward without conventional thrust. Theoretical physicist Elena Reyes described it as, not flight as we understand it, but more like gliding on something we don't yet know how to measure, as if these objects were using the medium of space itself to move.
Earth detects the echoes.
While NASA focused on Voyager's raw data, something odd started happening back on Earth that would make this mystery even more compelling. Across various corners of the globe, amateur radio operators, some just hobbyists with backyard setups, began reporting strange activity. They were picking up weak, irregular pulses, a kind of rhythmic static that didn't match any known terrestrial source. At first, it seemed unrelated, just coincidence. After all, radio interference happens all the time. But then the reports were time-stamped and compared. They aligned almost perfectly with the same hours that Voyager had recorded its most intense plasma anomalies. These weren't professional observatories or part of any official deep space listening effort. Most of these setups were built from spare parts, tuned to catch meteor scatter, amateur satellites, or solar flare chatter. Yet somehow they were detecting faint echoes of what Voyager had picked up billions of miles away. The signals weren't strong, but they had pattern and regularity, like ripples reflecting off invisible walls in the ionosphere. This raised a troubling question. Was this bleed-through accidental or was it purposeful? Was something out there testing Earth's listening capability, dropping breadcrumbs for us to follow? That uncertainty kicked off a quiet storm behind the scenes. NASA began encrypting parts of its deep space telemetry feeds, and intelligence agencies took notice, beginning discussions about electromagnetic security and whether these signals could be weaponized or intercepted. The machine awakens. Then, as if things weren't strange enough, Voyager itself started acting differently in ways that defied explanation. Its guidance system, called the AACS, Attitude and Articulation Control System, began misbehaving, not catastrophically like a crash. But it started routing data through old, long-unused systems, almost like it was bypassing its own core software. At first, engineers thought it was a bug. After all, this is a 47-year-old spacecraft running on code older than most people analyzing it. But the deeper they looked, the weirder it got. Voyager wasn't failing. It was reconfiguring itself, reactivating memory segments that hadn't been touched in decades, rerouting its telemetry in ways that were never programmed. Then came the kicker. This behavior began right after one of the magnetic pulses from the passing objects. Could that burst have flipped a bit of memory? Could it have triggered some dormant function buried deep inside Voyager's ancient architecture? What engineers found was both promising and terrifying. The machine was stable, the instruments were fine, but the new behaviors weren't going away. Whatever was causing them, it wasn't internal decay or software corruption. Voyager had touched something, or something had touched Voyager, and the spacecraft was different now. To understand what was happening, engineers had to dig deep, literally opening dusty file cabinets at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab. Most of Voyager's software was written in early assembly language, with some instructions existing only as notes in 1970s paper manuals. Part of something bigger. As scientists continued analyzing the strange signals pulsing through Voyager's instruments, a new and even more extraordinary idea began to take shape. Among the plasma wave readings, certain patterns stood out, pulses that didn't behave like natural energy bursts but looked structured, measured, and intentional. Then someone noticed something else. The waveforms resembled quantum oscillations used in modern quantum entanglement experiments. These are the same kinds of signals researchers use on Earth to transmit information between particles separated by distance. It was subtle but undeniable, opening the door to a possibility no one had considered before. What if Voyager wasn't just recording random events in deep space? What if it had become part of something bigger? Maybe the 305 objects weren't just flying by. Maybe they were transmitting, broadcasting data through the interstellar medium using methods we don't yet understand. By pure chance, or maybe by design, Voyager was in the right place at the right time, with the right kind of analog sensors to pick it up. The signals didn't behave like random noise. They repeated, they looped, they followed harmonic intervals that looked eerily close to what you'd expect from encoded information. Something deliberately packed with meaning. Voyager, being such an old machine, might actually be the perfect listener. Modern probes are too noisy, filled with high-frequency electronics constantly transmitting and receiving chatter. But Voyager is slow, quiet, and analog. It has no clutter, no broadband digital static. It is, in a sense, the perfect ear in a cosmic concert hall, and being far outside the solar system, it's free from Earth's electromagnetic interference, just out there in the dark, listening like a perfect cosmic microphone. The mystery of Voyager's impossible encounter with 305 coordinated objects challenges everything we thought we knew about the emptiness of space. Whether these entities represent advanced technology from an unknown civilization, or natural phenomena operating by rules we haven't discovered, one thing is certain: the universe is far stranger and more populated than we ever imagined. As Voyager continues its eternal journey through the cosmos, it carries with it the possibility that humanity has just received its first glimpse of intelligence beyond Earth. What do you think these mysterious objects really are? Share your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe to Future Facts for more mind-bending space discoveries. Until next time, keep looking up.